and chill. Hi, Jack.
Hello.
I heard you did something pretty amazing recently.
So they say.
Yeah, so they say. How you feeling?
Content, happy, healthy, and yeah, feeling really good on top of the world.
Yeah, amazing. You've kind of become king of the spine.
King of the North, I got called.
King of the North.
Like some out of Game of Thrones.
Nice.
I'll take that.
Yeah, take it. So, in one word, describe what the last few days have been like.
Deep.
Deep.
It's been a deep and nice place to be with the emotions and with the family and with the reflection which is coming and coming. It's when I speak to other runners where the deep reflection is, because I mentioned it on stage. My best mate Hugh, who's a runner and is an incredible athlete, he doesn't understand what happened. Mike Hartley's emailed me, he doesn't understand what happened. And when you've got names and people you can trust like that, who can't comprehend the sort of run you managed to piece together, that shows it was really, really special. So that's important.
Amazing. So you looked very weather beaten at the end. Do you think that that those first couple of days were really great?
Yeah.
Do you think that kind of played a really good part into how your race went?
Yeah, I mean the pace for the first 30 hours, let's say, it was risky and it was difficult and it was different, but it meant the doors were there at the end of the race for me to be like, well, I can put my own stamp on things now. So yeah. It was worth it, and it was worth the pain, it was worth the discomfort, and it just went perfectly.
Yeah, you really had a very, very solid race. There was a point you mentioned in your interview at the end that there was a plateau and James Nobles was kind of struggling on the downhills. Was there genuinely a moment in your brain where you were kind of heading past Damien Hall and you were like, now's the time to
Yeah, it was dropping down into Dufton. I decided I was going to skip that checkpoint. Damien went in there, I went through a wee and said, I'm leaving. He'd already sort of got himself settled, and then I dragged him out of there, which meant I knew he'd stop at Greg's Hut once we got over the snowy plateau of Crossfell. And I took a risk up there. I didn't stop to put my spikes on, he did. And I got a gap, and I was never going to, I wasn't willing to let that go from there. So that was the moment. And I'd only, 3 hours before, I thought, how am I going to win this race, when I was running with James and Damien. And then all of a sudden, within 3 hours, I'd created the door, I'd gone through it, I'd shut it, and then I was running away with it. So yeah. It happened really fast.
So what sort of training have you done between last year and this year? Because last year you came second, and you were almost, you and Damien kind of shared the last few miles together. What was different, do you think, about your training in the past 2012?
I've done less than I ever have. I've done more gym work than ever, and I've just, even straight after the race, I put more elevation into my training this year, which was nice and important. Less miles, more elevation, more gym work, and just set myself up to really want it. And I thought about really wanting it the next run after the spine, and then every single time I was in the sauna, I was picturing the race. But it wasn't overwhelming, it wasn't daunting, it was just happy and nice, and I knew what I needed to do, and that's what I managed to do.
So have you spoken to Damien?
I watched him finish. We had a pint together, and that was nice, and he nodded his head and appreciates that it was something a little bit crazy and a little bit different, and again, to hear it from a man like him is satisfying for me.
Amazing. So what can we hope from you for the rest of the year?
Well, this was my be-all and end-all. I've got no races booked. I turned down 3 entries to big UTMB races, so I didn't want my vision blurred at all. So I'll regroup, reassess. I'll do some local fell races, short fell races, so I love that side of the sport as well. And then I'll roll into summer and autumn, and whatever shows itself to me, I'll review it and see if it's right for me.
Amazing. Well, the one question I have to ask you is one that my dad actually wanted me to ask you, and he said, what watch do you have? Because he can't believe you managed to go that entire way, and your Strava shows the entire way. So what watch do you have?
Well, I used the Sunto 9 last year, which worked, but without the advanced mapping. So this year I got in touch with Sunto saying, can we work together? Can I use the watch and I've got the watch on now. Sunto vertical, advanced mapping, elite battery. I got my splits every hour instead of every mile, so all I need to know is every hour how far have I gone. And I charged the watch for maybe half an hour at Langdon Beck checkpoint, and my watch finished with 54% battery.
Wow.
And the mapping came into its own on the last 27 miles over the Cheviots when I was sleep deprived and there was snow and ice on the ground, and I had confidence that it was one less thing to worry about because the trace was so clear on my watch. So that was a big advantage from the year before.
And how's your feet?
Feet are good. I've got one issue in my right toe, big toe, but apart from that, I'm over the moon with it. And the more I'm moving about, the better I'm feeling.
Amazing.
So it takes me a bit of time once I've been on the sofa or on the bed.
Yeah.
It takes me an hour to get warmed up, but once I am, I'm good to go.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much for sitting down and talking with me.
No problem.
I'm sure you've been swamped out there at the moment, so
Yes.
It's nice to just have a minute to sit
Nice
on the
to sit
sofa.
down, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you very much.
No problem. Nice to meet you. Thank you.